Many thanks for joining us at this hour on QTV. You are watching QTV News and I am Ajibintu Drame in tonight's top stories. The OIC Secretariat and stakeholders of its road construction project today embarked on an on-site tour to the 20 new roads that are planned to be built ahead of the OIC summit in the Gambia. A diaspora organization has supported the Nema ward of Busura with a borehole project. An association of Gambians based in the UK on Saturday donated over 200 desktop computers to various schools in Kumbo South. In sports news, Bouba Diop, the Senegal football icon, was laid to rest in his home country after a state funeral. We find out some of the reasons why African athletes swap national allegiance. World Athletics Day announced the male and female athletes of the year. Those were our top stories for tonight's bulletin. Do stay tuned for the news in detail. Now onto local news. The OIC Secretariat and stakeholders of its construction project today embarked on an on-site tour to 20 new roads that are planned to be built ahead of the OIC summit in the Gambia. The project consultants also gave assurance to deliver their mandate on time ahead of the 2022 OIC summit in the Gambia. Momodu Lamichoy reports.
These are the 20 new roads in the Greater Banjul area the OIC Secretariat is implementing as one of its priority projects ahead of the 2022 OIC summit in the Gambia. These roads put together will come in at over 50-kilometer distance, and the plan is to upgrade them for the improvement of traffic circulation for smooth mobility of people, goods and services across the Greater Banjul area.
The roads project is divided into two. We have this 50 kilometers, which is designed purposefully to decongest the main highway, which is the Battle Harding Highway. We all know currently the congestion that we suffer along this Battle Harding Highway, which is from Yundum Airport all the way to Sting Corner. So the other aspect of the roads project is that Battle Harding. We've also secured funding, and currently what we are now doing is the procurement process that will lead us into identifying consultants and also contractors to be able to build that road.
Site surveys and other scientific assessments of these roads have already been completed by engineers, and the consulting agency is currently compiling ground information to make a complete design of the roads. The consulting company has promised to submit its preliminary design by the 10th of this month and a final one by the end of this year. And finally, by mid of March next year, the execution of the road construction is scheduled to commence. Gambians are assured to see the 20 new roads project completed 12 months after the execution starting date in 2021. The country manager of the consulting company in the Gambia explains how his company is working towards beating the deadline.
And when we are launching the tender process, we can split the job into 2 or 3 lots. So we can do at minimum 2 lots, and we can award the job to 2 different contractors. Like that, some sections will be given to one contractor, the remaining will be given to the second contractor. That's the first arrangement that we can do, and it's feasible, and we used to do that. Okay, and in the Gambia recently, the same arrangement was adopted in North Bank Road. Okay, also to get it feasible, we will ask our contractors to make 3 shifts or 2 shifts. So work can go by day and by night.
The roads are being designed to include international best standards of roads facilities for easy access and safety of its users. This will involve the construction of drainage, street lighting facilities, and other traffic features.
In some areas you've seen electric poles being erected somewhere close to the middle of the road, and you know they need to move. You saw a pipe somewhere surfacing and a water pipe somewhere which is almost in the middle of the road. We have properties encroaching into the right of way. So these are all challenges which we need to take care of before we can fit our road. So as he said, this is why we are able to come up with different alternatives in terms of the cross section. Where we have more spaces, as he said, we'll fit in a road with 2 drains on the sides and of course 2 walkways on either side. Where we are a bit constrained, we may have a drain, 2 drains on either side with the road, and cover the drain and use that as walkway. So we have alternatives.
About $50 million is the budget for the OIC's 20 new roads project, and it is funded through the Saudi Fund. The road project is critical to the Gambia's successful hosting of the 2022 OIC Summit due to the demands of the event, especially in terms of smooth mobility to and from the OIC Conference Center.
The little delay we had as a result of COVID, which of course is a pandemic and it's affected every country in this world. So apart from that, I think we are quite comfortable with our progress, and in terms of meeting our deliverables also, I think we are making significant progress. So we are fairly hopeful that we should be able to successfully host our guests in 2022.
The OIC's 20 new urban roads project will also involve the expansion of the Bertil-Harding Highway, which will become a modern dual carriage road with 2 lanes on each side with a pedestrian walkway. The roads are projected to last for at least 30 or 40 years, but this will greatly depend on how well they are maintained. The National Roads Authority has that mandate, which it has assured it will duly execute. Mahmoud Lamin Choi, Qtv News.
A diaspora organization has supported the Nema ward of Busura with a borehole project.
A community of about 700 people in the West Coast region will benefit from a borehole project. Says they have been blighted with water challenges for years. At the launching ceremony, the village leader, Alu A. says the donors have chosen his community at a time when they are in dire need of pipe-borne water.
Julia, we are welcoming you once again in our midst. We are saying welcome, warm welcome for that matter.
Ibrahim Ajim Kujabi, a community youth representative, said the water project has come at just the right time.
Mr. Jallo and my sister Julia, they came to our aid. I am happy. My Kujabi Kunda family have come to the aid of Nema Kabilo.
Nema Ward is a small community lacking some of the most basic essentials such as clean drinking water, access road and electricity. Mama Sanyang, spokesperson of the community women's group, hailed the project while asking for more support in other areas.
Sometimes 10 o'clock, sometimes 9 o'clock.
Lamin J. Sane, the National Assembly member for Brikama South, described the borehole project as helping to make available a fundamental human right to the community.
I am concerned. I am very much delighted because I've seen something that is a fundamental human right of every individual, as is in the UN Charter. Access to clean water, clean drinking water is a right for everybody. And by virtue of our Mikra cake, the national cake that is erratic in nature, we find it very difficult to provide the entire country with pipe-borne water. So here is a situation whereby you have philanthropists that are a distant brother and sisters from the different part of the world who sees themselves as they are part and parcel of the Africa. They are here to provide this safe clean, drinking water for the Nema community in Busura.
Many Europeans of African descent in the last few years returned to African countries, including the Gambia. Among them, Juliet and her husband, Adrian, who lived and called the Gambia their home. Juliet Nyancho Kujabi, founder of Blackseed and secretary of the Council of African Descendants, says the project is a way of giving back.
We come together back as one family. This is a family reunion. We are relatives. We are not strangers. And so this project started because we were looking for another home for many of us as African descendants to find somewhere to live, to contribute to the local community, to the local economy, and to help to work with our brothers and sisters here in the village.
Safe and readily available water is important for public health, whether it is used for drinking, domestic use, food production or recreational purposes. Improved water supply and sanitation and better management of water resources can boost countries' economic growth and can contribute greatly to poverty reduction. Pipe-borne water remains a luxury for many communities in the Gambia. Mamudu Gajaga, Qtv News.
Sanyang UK Association, an association of Gambians based in the UK, on Saturday donated over 200 desktop computers to various schools in Kumba South. Our reporter Omar P. Jallo attended the presentation and he now reports.
The donation is part of the Education Advancement and Computer Learning Project, which is the 6th major project undertaken by the Sanyang UK Association. The association has a vision to fill the technology gap not only in schools in Kombo South, but the Gambia. The donated items are 200 high-quality PCs, comprising of Dell Optipel 7040 PCs with 16 gigabytes and 64 bytes operating systems, monitors, keyboards, mice, speakers, and cables. The president of the association, Sajo Fofana, said this is the biggest and most capital-intensive project the Sanyang UK Association has undertaken since its successful recognition as a bona fide UK-based charitable organization by the UK Charity Commission.
This donation is with the association back home. We work together as a team, and then we see that we got an opportunity to bring these computers to Gambia to donate to schools. So we think it's going to be a very good use for the whole schools that we are donating, and it's going to help all the teachers and the students to be able to get into the system of technology.
Babansu Bojang, a blind man and a native of Sanyang, who is also a teacher at Sanyang Senior Secondary School, also explained how he met the Samaritan, Mikonete Kelsey, in 2019, when he visited the Gambia and visited Sanyang Senior Secondary School. The donor, Mikonete Kelsey, said despite Babansu's disability, he was impressed with his commitment, dedication, and outstanding performance as a teacher at the senior school. He adds that during discussion with Babansu, he informed him that he works in an IT firm in the UK and will try to convince the company at their next office move to donate their office computers to schools in Sanyang and other parts of the Gambia.
All the computer we have in the old office, it will be thrown or recycled. Then I come up with a proposal to management to say that one, not throw this one, let's use them, let's give someone need it. So because I travel a lot into the Gambia, then I said, let me take it to the Gambia.
The national coordinator of the association, Bouba Bojang, said Suka will continue working tirelessly to empower children, youths and adults with computer training to help close the technology gap that exists in the modern-day digital society.
As at now, we have 25 schools that are terms for benefits, but there are other schools that are yet to come because there are some that do not have electricity in their schools. So we are looking into all those to see how best we are going to help them so as to get connected to the electricity, and then we supply them with the desktops rather.
The cluster monitor of Banyaka cluster, who also represented the regional education director Lamin Mane, said the desktops will help to increase basic computer skills and encourage computer education in computer-related subjects like science, technology, engineering and mathematics among students of all age groups.
Computers can be used in the classroom and in the school environment in order to help teachers develop pedagogically and in many ways to support teaching and learning in the classroom.
The representative of Sifo Law Basic School in Sabah believed that the spread of science and technology education can be key to a nation's future economic prosperity and independence. Suka hopes that by enhancing education, they will help eradicate poverty, broaden options, and open doors for new opportunities. They also believe that the donation will enable bright young minds to become better qualified for jobs that were previously unavailable to them. Reporting for Qtv News, I am Omar P. Jallo.
We will go with a short commercial break. The news continues with sports news. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, this is QTV News. On to sports news. Following a state funeral, which also saw him receiving a posthumous national honor, Senegal football icon Pa Bouba Diop also laid to rest in his native Senegal. More in this report.
he scored what has been dubbed the most famous goal in Senegal's football history. It was his nation's first appearance at the World Cup, and in their first match, they were facing holders France. Pape Bouba Diop delivered the knockout blow in scoring the only goal in the game. That goal and the game propelled Diop and his teammates to overnight international renown. After a successful career playing for clubs in England and Greece, he retired from the game and not much was heard from him. His death, after what his family described as a long illness, came as a shock to many, and there had been tributes from across the world, including beyond the world of football. Given his significance in his country's sporting history, it was no surprise that his body was flown back from France to his home country, Senegal. Earlier in the week, Ademola Lookman of Fulham, one of Diop's former clubs, held up a shirt with Diop's name after scoring what was his club's only second win in 11 games. Current star of the national team, Sadio Mane, paid his own tribute, revealing a shirt with Diop's name during a match this week. President Macky Sall led tributes to him, saying Diop's death was the nation's loss and was immense. Among the tributes were former teammates, including El Hadji Diouf, who read a short piece in honor of his departed friend. Several of his former teammates were in tears throughout. They wore the shirts of the national team bearing Diop's name and his number 19. Also in attendance was current national team coach and Diop's captain at that memorable World Cup, a visibly shook-up Aliou Cissé, who could be seen being comforted by singer Youssou N'Dour. Senegal's president spoke of the greatness of Diop and of what he meant to all Senegalese, and bestowed upon him a posthumous national honour, pinning the medal for the Knight of the National Order of Merit to the casket. The president announced that a museum at a 50,000-seater stadium being built outside the capital, Dakar, would be named after Diop. May his soul rest in peace. For QTV News, this is Ade Darami.
There are many reasons why African countries will probably never win athletics medal. One reason is that many African-born sports people choose to represent countries other than their birth. Why is this so? More in this report with a special focus on Bahrain.
At the Asian Games last year, Bahrain, a country of 1.1 million people, topped the medal table ahead of China, a country of 1.4 billion people. This success was largely due to Bahrain's imported athletes. In 2006, when oil gas reached Bahrain and Qatar started the policy, it paid immediate dividends. By that time, between them, the two countries had won 22 Asian Games medals in athletics, 15 of which came from former Africans who switched citizenship. The issue of athletes representing other countries other than the country they were born in came to the fore this week. Nigeria-born Abbas Abubakar Abbas gave an interview in which he tried to justify why he now represents Bahrain rather than Nigeria in athletics. When Bahrain's 4x400 mixed relay team lines up in next year's Olympic Games, the team will consist of 2 women and 2 men, all of whom were born in Nigeria. 24-year-old Abbas changed from representing Nigeria to Bahrain when he was 16 years old. He says, "In Nigeria, we have many talents, but we don't know how to handle them," he told BBC Sports Africa. When he turned 18, Abbas was sponsored to move into his own apartment in an athletes' complex in the city of Rifa. The relay team members were given new houses from the King of Bahrain after their Doha success last autumn. Abbas says, "Of all the athletes I used to run with, I only know one in Nigeria, Irope Iriakon, who is still in the sport. The difference in Bahrain is the support. Iriakon is Niger's current 400-meter champion and represented his country at the Rio Olympics." When asked about possibly switching allegiances, Iriakon, who missed out on a similar opportunity, said, "An official for Bahrain came to my coach, but I didn't have a phone at the time, so I didn't know anything about it until a year later," says Nigeria's former national 400-meter champion. "Sometimes I cry because I know, I wish I would have followed. In Nigeria, I often struggled to pay for the restroom after training." For the majority, it is about chasing dollars. However, this appears not to be the case for Mariam Yusuf Jamal, who won Bahrain's first Olympic track gold, was born in Ethiopia at Zenebek Tola. She was awarded first place at the 2012 Olympic Games after the original winner and second-placed athletes were disqualified. Before that, she had twice been crowned 1,500-meter world champion in 2007 and 2009. Mahmoud Lamin Choi, QTV News.
And finally, in sports news, World record breaker Mundo Duplantis of Sweden and Yulima Rojas of Venezuela has been named the male and female World Athletes of the Year at the World Athletics Awards 2020, a ceremony held virtually today.
Duplantis broke the world record in the pole vault twice, topping 6.17 meters and 6.18 meters on back-to-back weekends in February, just a few weeks before the global coronavirus pandemic ground the sporting world to a halt. When competition finally resumed, Duplantis capped his season and produced the highest outdoor vault of all time, 6.15 meters, and finished the year undefeated in 16 competitions. Rojas, meanwhile, competed sparingly in 2020, but she made each of her appearances count. Rojas broke the South American indoor triple jump record in her first competition of the year, reaching 15.03 meters in Metz, France. In her next competition at the World Athletics Indoor Tour meeting in Madrid, she leapt to 15.43 meters in the final round of the competition to break the world record by 7 centimeters. She competed just twice outdoors, winning the Wanda Diamond League meeting in Monaco and again in Castellón, Spain, where she sailed to 14.71 meters, the furthest leap in the world outdoors this year. Congratulations to both of them. For QTV News, I am Are Darami.
Before we end this bulletin, let's take a quick look at our main stories. The OIC Secretariat and stakeholders of its road construction project today embarked on an on-site tour to the 20 new roads that are planned to be built ahead of the OIC summit in the Gambia. The diaspora organization has supported the Nema ward of Busura with a borehole project. An association of Gambian based in the UK on Saturday donated over 200 desktop computers to various schools in Kombo South. In sports news, Bouba Diop, the Senegal football icon, was laid to rest in his home country after a state funeral. We found out some of the reasons why African athletes swap national allegiance. World Athletics today announced the male and female athletes of the year. Well, that's it from me in tonight's bulletin. I am Ajibintu Drame. Thanks for joining us, and do stay tuned on QTV.